Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
All right, here we go. Let's kick it off. It's a hot Tuesday, and we are talking ball with you right here on the Young and Norvelle Show. Terry Norvelle here. Hope to hear from Patrick Young in a little bit. We've got Trent Dorsey lined up, and then about 5:30, talk some baseball with our buddy Kade Kistner. A lot to get to, a lot of Jaguar talk. Day number 6 in training camp world. Day number 6 has come and gone. We'll talk about a little bit of stuff that's happened out there, day number 6. Travis Hunter looked good again. I think he had a long catch, got deep behind everybody. Cephas, another wide receiver, supposedly had a nice day. A couple of still defensive end and linebackers, Mason Smith and Gardeck. Some of those guys still have not gotten on the field. So we'll talk a lot of Jaguars. We're actually going to get in the Wayback Machine and go way back. Today's kind of a special day in Jaguar football history. I don't know if a lot of people have talked about it, but we will. We got a lot of stuff to get to, Jaguar related, Major League Baseball related, all kinds of different topics, and I think you're going to enjoy it today with us. With that, I think we've got my buddy Trenton Torsia on. Trent, how you doing, my friend?
I am doing good, sir. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing okay. Again, this is our Tuesday. Normally, we're at Hurricane, obviously, as you know it, kind of your home hangout over there in the heart of Mandarin. Most people know by now. I went through a little bit of a medical procedure. It was scheduled on Friday. Nothing, out of the blue. A scheduled medical procedure. So this week, I'm kind of leery to get too far away from the house as I'm kind of recuperating a little bit. But so I want to thank Josh and Callie, our friends over at Hurricane in Jewington Creek, our normal Tuesday home. We'll be back there next Tuesday, but they understood. And I said, hey, man, Trent, sometimes when you're not 100, you don't want to get too far from the house.
That makes total sense. I mean, there's nothing like the comfort of your own home. They've said that for thousands of years, I guess. So
yes, you're right about that. It doesn't matter. Hey, the comfort of your own cave, the comfort of your own home. There's something about it's your place. It may be a cardboard box, and it may be a mattress on the ground, but buddy, that's your mattress on the ground, isn't it?
That's right. You've worked it in, and that's it.
Yeah, there's something about I'm home. I am home. And you can be yourself at home, even if you go stay with family. Sometimes you can't really be yourself. You know what I mean? You can be yourself at home.
Yeah, 100%.
You can be yourself at home. Before we get into some sports, Trent, goodness gracious, when we were about to fire up the show here a moment ago, we've got that tower cam downtown. Man, those clouds. It looks like there's a nasty storm coming. And let me tell you something, Trent. We are sitting here July. I want to get your opinion. I'll give you my opinion first. I want to get your opinion. We're sitting here July 29th, the end of July. I am born and raised in Dirty Duval, right here in Jacksonville, okay? I've been through a million of these summers. I have always contended, and you may can back up with numbers that can shoot me down, but I'll still stand by my contention. I have always contended I think July is the hottest month of the year. I know August, some people will say, well, the numbers, I don't care about. All I know is the last week and a half, 2 weeks have just been brutal out there, including today. It's brutal.
Well, so the interesting thing about it, and I grew up in Dade County, down there in the 305. So similar, right? Native Floridians, we've been through it. I don't remember the last 2 weeks. I don't remember anywhere I've been being this hot and humid. There's one thing to be a temperature. I've been out, Arizona and places like that, and Nevada that are the drier heat. But this, when you walk out the door at 8:00 in the morning,
I'm with you, man,
and you get suffocated. I mean, literally, it's like climbing into a sauna. And it's like you just took a shower, you're going to head out, you're going to wherever you're going to go. Yeah. You don't even get in the car when you're dripping wet. And this is record heat, though, by the way, for us, anyhow, in Duval. and actually most of the southeast part of the country.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. It is a sticky, nasty time, but I've always contended, and I know August is going to be hot as well, but I've always contended. I think that mid to late July, which we're in the heart of, I think this is our hot time, man. It is brutal. I'll tell you one thing, though. If you're trying to work yourself into shape, into football shape, pretty good weather out there as long as you take it easy. Follow the signs. Stay hydrated and follow the signs.
Well, hey, and to that point, when the season starts, the football season,
yeah,
it's going to be hot. You want all those northern teams, whether it's college or professional, come on down and play in Jacksonville and Tampa and Miami.
No doubt.
Because you're going to swelter and melt and do all that. I mean, I've actually been to training camps up north. And matter of fact, later on in August, we'll be up in Saratoga, New York, watching the horses. But the Giants train in Albany, New York,
right?
New York football Giants, and the weather's pleasant.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you open up down south somewhere. It's a rude awakening for sure.
I can remember as a youngster, I probably started going to my first Gator game. Older brother took me. I was probably 10, 11, 12 years old. First game. My oldest brother, who's passed away, it took me, and my other brother as well, about 8 years. One's 10 years older and one's 8. So, it was way back in the 70s when they were, 18, 19 and 17, 18. I mean, they loaded me up, and I went to a bunch of Gator games as a kid. And the point is, back in the 70s, when I was first going to Gator games, most of your Gator games were not on TV. Not many games were on television. I mean, there was a regional game, there was a national game. There weren't many college games. So TV didn't dictate a whole lot, right? TV didn't dictate night games. And I'm telling you, the majority of Florida Gator football home games, and probably the SEC, the majority of Florida Gator home games, when I started going in the 70s, kicked off at 1 o'clock. I mean, 1 o'clock in September. 1 o'clock in September on AstroTurf in that stadium that goes straight up. And what? But now it was what it was. You adapt to what you have. I look back and go, my God, September 4th would be an opener, 1 o'clock. September 11th, second, 1 o'clock. I mean, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and still hotter than Hades out there. But that's the way it was.
I know. I don't know how you do it. The Jags do the same thing, and my team, the Dolphins, they do the same thing. You go to that 1 o'clock game, and if that sun's beating down on you, forget about it.
I will say this, and you're the South Florida guy. I'm the North Florida guy. Humidity here is bad. It's down there in your neck of the woods, man. So it is wet, humid, man. It is a wet, humid. You walk out down there and Lauderdale and below, it's wet. That's a wet, humid.
Yeah, I mean it's so I haven't lived there in quite some time. So I go back down there, and like today, I'd swell up a little bit, the hands and feet, just because of the humidity.
No doubt. Speaking of up north, and we're going to take it back. We're going to go back in the Wayback Machine with the Jaguars a little bit today. There's some stuff that happened way back in the infant days of the franchise on this date. I don't know if you remember this. The Jaguars' very first training camp, Coach Coughlin decided to have it in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. I don't know if you remember that. They went to Wisconsin, and I didn't travel. I was in radio at the time, but I didn't go. A bunch of my colleagues went and stayed, for a week or two. And, a lot of the NFL teams will do that. They'll get away and go somewhere. Well, the word was they literally went to Stevens Point, Wisconsin, probably the hottest late summer in the history of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. They were supposedly falling like flies up there. And the theory was they were going to kind of get away from it a little bit. I think it was like 120 every day up there.
That's because, I actually played one summer in Wausau, Wisconsin.
Right.
Which is it's pretty much neighboring.
Yeah.
And I remember wearing, we had games at night. We were wearing jackets in the bullpen or whatever. That surprises me, but you never know. It's like, we want to escape the heat. We want to keep guys healthy or whatever. Then you go into a broiler room.
You talk to some of the old timers, man. my colleagues that made that trip and covered the team for a couple of weeks up there, they'll tell you, they said, oh my God, it was just one of those once every 100-year kind of things. The locals were saying, man, it's never like this. They get up there and I think the report I remember getting was Coughlin loved it. Coughlin absolutely loved it. It was just broiling up there.
Well, by the way, what did Coughlin not love about making situations just a tad uncomfortable?
Uncomfortable. And, back then, you were still permitted to have 2-a-days and 3. I don't think you can have 2-a-days anymore. I think those have all been pretty much out. You remember the days of 2, and some football programs have 3-a-days.
Well, I just read this recently talking about 3-a-days. The late great Don Shula. Coughlin's cut from the same loin, man. He's like, here's the way it's going to be. We may not outplay anybody, but we're going to out tough people, and we're going to outlast people, and we're going to do things the right way, et cetera, et cetera. And you're right. It is shifted. And I think part of that is the Players Association.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having more of a say in this is how we're going to be treated versus, and not that was bad treatment. That's just the way it was back.
It was the way it was. That was the way it was. And that's a terrible way to describe it, but throughout life and throughout mankind, that was the way it was, can get explained about a lot of stuff. That was just the way it was in sports. That was just the way it was in business. That was the way it was, unfortunately, in culture, some situations. Yeah, it definitely was. I was watching, obviously kind of going through a little medical situation. I've watched a lot of TV in the last 4 or 5 days. Over the weekend, I caught, I think you referenced it too. It was a documentary about the Dolphins' perfect season of 72. And Shula is quoted in there, and they're talking to guys way back there. They said, Larry Zonka said, he made us show up a couple times, 4 times in a day in training camp. Four. He goes, we'd be there 8, break, get there at noon, go about another hour, break for lunch, mid-afternoon, and then at night. Physically on the field 4 times in camp.
Well, you know what? You could think about that differently too. It's like, are you putting in the same amount of hours with a team that's going 1 time a day all out for whatever it is, 4 or 5 hours, and whatever the number is. Maybe giving the break was smart, in its time, but it's also becomes like a 12 to 14 hour work day physically, because then you still got to go study the playbook and do all the other things that you do in camp.
And then, a lot of coaches way back then, some of them had the savvy, and I think some of them didn't think about it. You could take your legs right out of your team. You take your legs right from under your team. You overwork them that first week or 2. You got no legs. You got no legs.
And think about the guys too along the same lines that used to hit every week.
Yes. Yeah.
We're going full pads and we're going all out. It kind of goes back to as recent as like the Jimmy Johnsons and people like that and Bill Parcells. You can go through that whole tree of coaches, and to a certain extent Barry Switzer. I mean, there's just a long list of, hey, we're full pads and we're hitting.
How about the days of no water until the coach told you? It was.
Out.
Nowadays there's water stations everywhere, right? But you remember the old days? You and I played in those days.
We did.
You'd start practice, football, any sport. You'd start practicing football when I was a little peewee squirt. I can remember being practicing, first hour. I mean, you're dying out there. Then maybe the coach would blow the whistle. Everybody'd go run to the water spigot, guzzle water, because you may not get back to it in the next hour.
Hey, I just coached in a baseball game this summer where you go to the home plate meeting, with the umpires and the coaches, and the plate ump goes, hey, just so you know, we've got buckets of ammonia water. Remember the old ammonia water days?
I remember that well.
The towel that you
remember that well.
And nobody had their own towel, by the way. No. It just came out of a bucket, and you're thinking, and my first, because your catchers are welcome to use it anytime they want. Your pitchers, we won't charge them or whatever. My first thought was, there's no way I'm putting a towel over my face.
Yeah.
After 16 other people
Yeah.
have done the same
I remember
thing.
hey, those ammonia towels in water, ice water with ammonia in there, they were refreshing.
No, they're legit for sure.
Refreshing, but you're right. That's like the old days. You got to be old like us, Trent. You remember the old days in some, not all, but some like public restrooms, gas station restrooms, occasionally restaurant restrooms. They would have, instead of you pulled out individual paper towels or hit a button for a dryer, they would have the community what you call it, hand towel. One community hand towel for
it was on the vicious cycle, and then it was still damp, right? Like it was still come on, man.
Remember that? Oh my goodness.
I do remember that, unfortunately.
Hey, we got a lot to get to. Got a lot of Jaguar stuff we're going to cover today. Trent, there's a really neat article, I thought, story today I uncovered on ESPN, their webpage. And the title is Ranking NFL Team Talent Under 25 Years Old. And I think you get where it's going. Who's got the best young talent? And, sports is a young man's game. And I thought it was very interesting. Let's go over a couple of these numbers, if you don't mind. The number one team ranking regarding best talent in the NFL under 25, this team has been number one now for 3 consecutive years. And last year they went to the playoffs. So this is interesting. They are young, they're maintaining their youth, and they're getting good because they went to the playoffs. The Houston Texans.
Yeah.
How about that? Now, keep in mind, one factor is they had a draft 2 years ago. They got a young C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson, 2 really good young players. But how about that? 3 years in a row now, and that's not exactly great news for the Jaguars or the AFC South. They keep staying young, but now they're young and good. And good. How about that?
Well, yeah, and it makes it. Here's the difference maker. They hit on their picks, and that's what you have to do.
You hit it, buddy.
And there's other teams. We don't need to get into the teams that didn't, hit on their picks. But when you've got a boatload of picks because you did things the right way for the organization, and you hit them, there you go. And then you're going to be faced. You'll be faced with that second contract situation and what you want to do, and maybe be cap challenged, but enjoy it while you can. And they're going to roll out as probably the odds-on favorite to win that division, right?
Yeah, you easily. They'll be the favorite easily. And this, what they did with this article, we're going to go where Houston's won in the NFL 3rd year in a row. We'll get to the Jaguars, the Titans, and the Colts. What you said is really key. 2 years ago, how good were the Texans? They got young, really good players. They had the offense and defensive player of the year, right? They had the rookie of the year offense, C.J. Stroud, and Will Anderson was the defensive guy, I think, right? Both about 22 years old when they did that. 22 years old, and you go bam, bam. Really nice.
Stroud was a huge hit. I mean, that just I'm not sure anybody expected that much that soon.
I know, man. He hit the ground.
He delivered.
He did. So Houston has won for the 3rd consecutive year. I thought that was neat. The Jaguars check in at number 8. At number 8, which is not terrible.
That's check not in terrible at all.
But what you said, to be in the top echelon, the Jaguars' high picks have been good, but you need your high picks to be young and really good. Trevor Lawrence is just now growing out of it. He's passing 25, but he is yet to get to the really good stage. And Trayvon Walker, good, but not really good, right? Yeah. So that's holding them back, but that's not bad. They also have right behind Jacksonville is Tennessee. So Houston won best talent under 25 in the NFL. Houston's won for the 3rd year in a row. Jaguars 8, Titans 9, and the Colts check in at 20. But right now, this is no, miraculous discovery by us. I think most people have said, hey, right now, the AFC South is going to, for the foreseeable future, go through Houston. Somebody's got to take it from Houston, right? I mean, they've got the best roster. It looks like the best young roster, so you're not going to be able to really wait them out. You got to topple them. You got to beat that core, right?
Yeah, and you're going to get them twice a year, so you at least have to hold court, right? So
yeah, and you mentioned get them twice a year. If this list holds true, Houston 1, Jacksonville 8, Tennessee 9, Indy 20, you got to go sweep Indy, right? You got to go sweep Indy.
Got to take those two, and that's I mean, and a lot of divisions are set up that way where, and then you start looking at rivalries. And I'll give you an example. Like, I'll use the Dolphins and the Jets. And it doesn't matter. They seem to split no matter who's great and who's not, or who's good, and they're both good. And when you start looking at things like that, these rival games make a difference. So when Houston comes into Jacksonville, you've got to hold serve. Yeah. If you're going to keep pace with them, you've got to hold serve. Yeah. And, I think the other thing about being young on the road, you don't care. It's like you don't understand what situation you're in here. And I get it. A lot of these guys played big time college football and in front of many more people than a lot of these NFL venues get, but they're still kind of young and naive. And they're like, that's just another football game. Yeah. And then maybe a man of wisdom comes up and says, hey, I just want you to know, a hostile environment, they're going to try to get under your skin. And maybe again, you're still a little too young and naive. Yeah. To even understand what that means. Yeah. Yeah, so, definitely. So let's take a look at these teams real quick while we're here in this first segment. Houston, number 1, talented team, talented roster, 25 and under, young, talented roster. They check in for the third year in a row. What they call blue chip players are the under 25 guys, right? They're blue chip guys: C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson Jr., Derek Stingley Jr., the cornerback, and their second cornerback, Kamari Lassiter. Notable graduated. So these are their notable players. And this is how they put this list together, Trent, that have passed that magical 25. Tank Dell and Scruggs, one of their offensive linemen. So obviously the core, they've hit on first round pick, high pick, C.J. Stroud, first round pick, high pick, Will Anderson. Derek Stingley's been a star. Lassiter. Let me get to the Jaguars. And even so, just to interrupt for a second. No, go ahead. Tank Dell's got to be, 26? So he's just over that 25? Yeah, he's still a young guy. Yeah, he's just getting out of it. Yeah, now he's banged up a little bit, but he's just getting out of it. The Jaguars, by the way, last year they were 7th on this list. Now they're 8th. So they've kind of hung in there. They haven't gotten any older. They haven't got a lot younger. The blue chip young players on this list for the Jaguars: Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Anton Harrison, which could be a little bit of a stretch. This is his put up or shut up year, and Trayvon Walker. Notable graduated players: Trevor Lawrence has graduated out of it now because, Lawrence is in his 5th year now. He's hit 25 and passed. He's out of this. But what you said was interesting. And you look at the Jaguars' recent draft, and we'll go back to Trevor Lawrence's draft. 1 of 1, Trevor Lawrence. The following year, Trayvon Walker, 1 of 1, the 1 overall pick, right? They went back to back. And then this year, the 2nd overall pick. You got to have these guys hit, not just good players. They got to become great players. Yeah. That high. That high of draft choices, 1 or 2 of those guys has got to be more than just a really good player. When you go 1 of 1, 2 of 1, you got to be a star, don't you? You do, and that's what keeps jobs or not keeps jobs. Yeah. And whether the GM and the head coach are in cahoots and the scouting department and all that or not, it doesn't matter. It ultimately falls on somebody that makes that decision. And like it or not, that's just the name of the business. And if you've got I don't know. I've argued with myself over this. Is it top 5 picks? Is it top 10 picks? Is it first round picks? It's like, you've got to be able to, and I probably feel most comfortable with top 5 picks. If you're picking in the top 5, you've got to nail it.
You really do. You really do. We've got Patrick. Pat, hang tight. Let's take a first break. We got Patrick settled in here now. When we come back, we're going to get in the Wayback Machine. Today's a very special day. I'm not sure if local media has keyed in on this, but a very special day in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going way back, boys. We're all going to be about 30 years younger when we come back. The Young and Norvelle show continuing here on a Tuesday.
That wouldn't be bad, Terry. 30 years younger.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll take a break here. The Young and Norvelle show continuing. Remember, it's a Tuesday edition. All Tuesday editions of the Young and Norvelle show brought to you by Hurricane Jointon Creek.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Here we go. Terry Norvelle, Patrick Young has joined. Trenton Torsia is with us. A little bit later, Hour number 2, we'll talk some Major League Baseball with our buddy Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated. We got a full house and a lot to get to. Mr. Patrick Young, have you noticed the hat I'm wearing today, Pat?
Yeah, man. I see you still got the sticker on. I didn't know you were a keep the sticker on a hat kind of guy.
Well, that's kind of what young cool guys do, that, right? Isn't that what young cool guys do?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I took the sticker off the hat that our buddy Trent gave me, and I wear it proudly.
Yeah, I like it. I like the white hats, and I think you said, Pat.
Yeah, it looks great. Thanks, buddy.
I think you said you've got some shirts you're ordering, some new PY Foundation shirts. I want to ask you, have you ordered any? I like long sleeve T-shirts. Have you ordered any long sleeve T-shirts?
I have not, but you're right. We should.
Cold before you.
Are you thinking quarter? Are you thinking quarter zip, or are you thinking just
sleeve.
a long sleeve with a collar, no collar?
No, just T-shirt, long sleeve. I look good in those. Long sleeve T-shirts.
The quarter zips are high dollar. I don't know if that's it.
Those quarter zips are high dollar.
Yeah, we don't need that. I just want a T-shirt with long sleeves. I look good in those things. I'm just going to tell you that, and I just did tell you that. So there you have it.
I'd actually take one of those, and I'm not sure I look good in them or not.
Hey, y'all ready to get in the Wayback Machine? Jaguars Wayback.
Ready.
You ready? How about this? This date in sports history, 1995. The actual very first unveiling of the Jacksonville Jaguars in a game situation. Today, this date, 1995, July 29th, 1995, in Canton, Ohio, the Jacksonville Jaguars squared off with their the other expansion franchise, the Carolina Panthers. They were paired together to play in the Hall of Fame game. I was in Canton. We were up there for about a week. And
wow,
it all got started. Obviously, it's a fake game, practice game, but that literally was the first time the Jaguars and the Panthers really debuted. And how about that?
That is a good one.
So let's go back a little bit, reminisce a little bit. Okay, so here's the game. Rookie Panthers cornerback Tyrone Poole returned an interception 85 yards, and John Casey kicked 2 fourth-quarter field goals Saturday to lead the Carolina Panthers to a 20-14 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars in the annual Hall of Fame game. The NFL's 2 expansion franchises played in their inaugural contest in the opening exhibition game of the season. So hang tight, guys. You're gonna get some great names, and this is memory lane. Jacksonville in the game drove 63 yards in 13 plays all the way down to the Carolina 2-yard line in the final minute of the game, but Panthers cornerback Steve Lofton knocked down a pass intended for Jaguar wide receiver Mike Williams in the end zone on a 4th down play to preserve the win. How about this name? Desmond Howard.
Wow.
Claimed in the expansion draft from the Washington Redskins, scored on a 66-yard punt return in the first quarter for Jacksonville's first touchdown. Desmond Howard, boys.
Look at that.
I did not know he was a Jag.
How about that? That's what it's. I was at the game and barely remember it. And didn't Howard? He found his way to Green Bay and was a
Green Bay. Sure did.
And he was a Super Bowl MVP, right?
Yeah, I think that's where he played most of his years.
So the Panthers in this game, they scored their first touchdown. They had a running back, Bob Christensen, caught a 16-yard scoring pass, tied the game at 7. Carolina then took the lead when Poole, a first-round draft choice from Fort Valley State, get a load of this, guys, picked off a pass from Jacksonville's Mark Brunell, who, by the way, was the backup quarterback at the time because Steve Bertline was the starter.
Yeah.
So Brunell threw an 85-yard interception, pick 6, with 4:55 left in the first half. Jacksonville then tied the game 14-all win. Get this name, running back James Stewart, a first-round draft choice out of Tennessee, scored on a 1-yard run 5 minutes into the third quarter. How about that? James Stewart. You guys remember him from Tennessee.
Oh, of course. I mean,
yeah.
Here's the other thing. So this Berline is a great trivia question at a bar.
Yeah.
Who was the first Jaguars quarterback?
Starting quarterback.
90% of the people are not going to get that right.
So Stewart scored for the Jaguars third quarter, then a 31-yard field goal by John Casey for the Panthers 1:16 into the fourth, snapped the 14-all tie. Casey then hit another 39-yard field goal with 3 minutes and 9 seconds remaining to give Carolina that lead 20-14. And again, the Jaguars drove all the way to the 2, and they couldn't punch it in. So they lost 20-14. I was there. We were covering it there, and it was an exciting time. It was an exciting time. Do you guys remember that game at all? But Patrick, I'm not even sure you were born. Were you born back then?
What year?
95.
Yeah, I was alive.
What were you like?
3 years old. I was 3 years old, but I was alive.
Trent, he was.
I already had worn my Gator shirt, onesie, and all that stuff at that point. I'm
Nice.
certain of that.
Nice.
Okay, I do remember it, but I wasn't born much earlier than that.
Well, I was just starting to get into sports media, and we went up station I was with. We covered we were out there about a week. It was a big deal. Canton, which is a little town, where the Hall of Fame's at. But that's obviously their Super Bowl week. I mean, they shut that little town just shut down and became a party. I've told this story on the air, Pat. You probably heard it. Trent, you may have as well. What a tough place to get to. I think if I remember right, we all flew into Cincinnati, and then I think we got on the Wright brothers' very first plane. You talk about a puddle jumper. You get on a little puddle jumper to go to Canton. I mean, this plane was about as big as a Hyundai car.
Is that the kind of flight where they go, how much do you weigh as you're checking in? And
putting you on each side.
Yeah, to balance it out. And
front, back.
We used to call those Knuckleball Express.
Ooh.
The little ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Knuckleball Express.
Have you guys been on Pat, have you ever been on one of those little tiny puddle jumpers, little short?
Oh, yeah. It was
they get knocked around.
Gosh, what trip was I on? I'm trying to think. It was when two flights actually. One when I was in college, and one I think before, because one of them was like a trip to a small AAU like skills tournament or something like that, and I mean it probably seated 16. And I never forget that Joe Jackson, he was a point guard from Memphis. He just kept saying, "We gonna die. We about to die. We about like, bro, shut up. Keep all that inside."
Yeah, don't.
And then, what's up?
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't say that, man, on the plane. We're gonna die.
I know. And then the other time, this was
like
it was in college. I was with Eric Murphy. We were on our way to California for an Adidas camp, and your reference of speed and depth is so off up there. But I swear we had a dip of like, I don't know, 1,000 feet. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. That is tough, man.
Yeah, because you hit
that wasn't great.
Hence the term Knuckleball Express.
Yeah, Knuckleball Express turbulence. My worst turbulence, I'll never forget this flight. We were a bunch of us media guys from Jacksonville. We were heading out to Phoenix, Glendale, actually, where Florida and Ohio State were going to play for the national championship, 2006. So we're on a flight. We're going out, like I said, I'm doing a lot of TV and radio, so we're out there about a week. And I'll never forget, and one of the guys from Jacksonville who was on the flight was the recently passed away David Lamb. I'll never forget, Lamb was sitting kind of across the aisle from me, and we were a bunch of us from Jacksonville were heading on this flight to Glendale to cover the Gator game with Ohio State. And I'm telling you, that pilot came on, and we were probably somewhere over Texas. That pilot came on and said, "Ladies and gentlemen," you know how they do. "Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pilot, we've got a storm system. There's just really nowhere to get around it, above it, or below it." So he said, "Hey, it's going to be a little rough here for the next 20 minutes or so." And my man, no sooner did he hang up that damn walkie-talkie thing, we started doing that turbulence thing. You know how you drop it? Oh, and it must have been a solid 20 minutes. And I mean, I was uncomfortable, man. I mean, uncomfortable. Woo.
No, it's not good. I'm actually a Delta Million Miler, and I've got stories that are just it's just bad news. But one in particular, we were in college coming back from Omaha. We're on a charter. They'd just served us food, and we had just gotten beat the day before, so you can imagine what kind of shape most of us were in that next morning. and we hit an air pocket of 500 feet, and all the food and drinks flew off the table. Like they went airborne off the table, and that was pretty scary because
it is scary.
It's almost like a free fall, and but
Patrick,
anyhow,
Trent, Patrick, you referenced a minute ago, Patrick. When you're in that plane and you're doing this, and when you drop, and man, your belly just goes out from under you. It's just
it's in your mouth. Your belly flies up and it's in your face, and you.
and then on that flight I referenced, we did that for about 20 minutes. I mean, it was just that constant.
Oh really?
Oh man, I mean, I was just. Did
you get motion sickness? I would have gotten motion sickness and threw up for sure.
Close, but I mean, it was close your eyes. You're like, please stop. Please stop. And you felt like any one of those drops was just going to continue to drop. You're like, at some point, this plane is just going to. I don't know how they don't tumble over and all, man. I don't know, man. Woo! It is some spooky stuff. Hey, guys, let's turn our topic. It's a sad topic. It's quasi a sports topic because of where it happened. Wow, that New York City shooting yesterday, where the guy goes into the building, kills. I think it's 4 people now have died. I think he killed himself. Have y'all followed this much? And
no, I haven't.
One of the notes that was left, he referenced the NFL. So most people are thinking. The building he went into housed a bunch of big businesses, and like the NFL has their offices are on like four stories, and he shot one NFL employee. But man, Trent, have you followed this? Where it's almost like he had a vendetta maybe against the NFL.
Yeah, I have followed it, and it's pretty interesting because from what I understand, he didn't play football beyond the high school level.
That's what I understand as well.
So he played football, and in his back pocket they found a 3-page letter.
Yeah. Yes.
That referenced CTE and specifically the NFL hid things from the public.
Yeah.
Never told anyone, and I don't know how old the guy was. And if I read it, I don't remember it. I'm not going to say his name because you don't do that for obvious reasons. But it was definitely targeted, and Goodell did. He came out and spoke a little bit about it. And he said, unfortunately, or whatever. And the guy was being treated for
some mental disorders.
Mental disorders. Of which I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
And Pat,
it doesn't matter.
Did ask that his brain be studied.
Yeah, and Pat, the way that Trent was describing it, and the letter in his back pocket that was found, so obviously he knew he was going to get searched when he killed himself. But it almost seems like he thinks the NFL didn't do enough to help study CTE and things like that. He was a high school player. I'll tell you guys, the other thing that came to me, and I have nothing to back this up, I also wondered, did he have a vendetta thinking the NFL should have done more to help prevent, even at the high school level? If the NFL does the research, it would trickle down to the high school level. Okay? You with me there? I also thought, I wonder if this will come out, and this is just Terry Norvelle. I have nothing to back this up. I wonder if there's any gambling angle as well. I could see this, somebody going, oh, by the way, he also lost $50,000 on an NFL season. You know what I mean? I hope it's not, but I also wondered about that. I wonder if this guy, pissed off at the world, blaming CTE because he played some high school football, blaming the NFL, and I don't know. I wonder if there's any gambling angle as well.
That's actually pretty interesting.
That's really interesting, Terry. Yeah.
Because
why wouldn't that be? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, just because of the presence of the ability to gamble now. I mean, it's it's run itself rampant. Here's the other thing I would say that how good, and I don't know what time frame this guy played in, but how good is a high school helmet versus a college helmet versus
an NFL helmet.
NFL helmet, and how much retread and do you have enough padding in it and stuff like that? And I'm not supporting the guy. I'm just saying that if you're going to play this game with the peewee and all that stuff, maybe awareness needs to be more. I don't know. But also mental disorders are what they are, and I don't know a lot about it other than it can cause you to do heinous things.
But yet, Patrick,
I mean,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say,
I mean, even we can look back at ourselves and think of some and say, we're going to be biased that we've made some illogical decisions. So how much more, someone that's had some type of, maybe this person had some head trauma, maybe they were untreated for certain things. Like, there's nothing you can do if your hormone imbalance. Well, if it's untreated, you have a hormone imbalance that's affecting your behaviors and thought processes. And probably to this guy's mind, he had a rhyme and a reason and a justification that none of us would have said, no, that doesn't make sense. The action does not actually, like, it's like, if I just slapped you on the hand and you just punched me in the face type thing.
Yeah.
It's like, say, no, your action doesn't need to be that extreme, but, it's illogical trying to make logic out of a person that thinks illogically.
Yeah. And on Wednesdays, we have Dr. Bates. He'll probably be back tomorrow off of his vacation. He's obviously an orthopedic surgeon. He's not a neurologist, and this, CTE is a brain situation. I'm not saying I feel this way, but I've always wanted to at least expose this. I don't know if a neurologist can tell an age of CTE, meaning I don't know if they can say, okay, this guy has CTE, and it can be traced back 10 years, 15 years, 1 year. With that on the table, I've often wondered, can football catch a bad rap? Because to me, it would be very easy to lump everything in a catch-all. Well, this guy had CTE, and it must have came from playing football. Well, what about maybe it came from when he fell off a slide when he was 9 years old?
Right, exactly.
Or was wrestling with his brother and, got a concussion hitting the ground. I always
the way you used to wrestle.
Yeah, the way we used to
fight. You thought it was real, so I'm going to give you a Dusty Rhodes elbow to the head. And
when I was 12, how many times I crashed on my bicycle? I probably hit my head. I've always wondered if football is in a bad spot where it can be a catch-all, blame everything on the football CTE. I don't know if there's a way to say, well, no, that CTE was 20 years in the making. So that was before he even played football. It had to be he fell off his bunk bed, or his brother threw him against the garage wall when they were fighting, or whatever. You know what I mean?
You make a good point, because it could also be if you played hoops and you hit the floor. Or if you played baseball and you got beamed to the head. I mean, there's a lot of things that sit there and they go, a series of concussions over a certain amount. And back in the day, I hate to say back in the day, but back in the day, they didn't look you over. And it's just been very recently that they've said, you've got to go to concussion protocol.
Yeah. And Patrick, we talk so much with Dr. Bates. We talk a lot of medical. I want to throw this out, Pat, and I'll give you a chance, Trent, as well. When I say you wonder if football it's the catch-all for CTE, we kind of assign injuries to sports. When we think sprained ankle, we think basketball.
Right.
When we think arm injury, we think baseball player. When we think CTE, brain injury, we immediately go football. Wouldn't y'all agree with that? We kind of put them in.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily, that's not fair. Obviously, statistics are going to show that certain injuries are more likely in other sports, but I got a concussion playing basketball. So I know it's rare, but it does happen. It can happen from all types of things.
Yeah.
I just think if you said I played basketball at the level that you played, How could you not have ever, even if a guy just cuts your legs and you
Yes.
go,
Or look, in an inadvertent elbow to the head.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be this something drastic as getting your legs cut under you in the air, which we've seen it happen. But like, I got fouled, a guy he went down pretty hard with his arm and just swiped me in the head. I mean, it should have been a flagrant, and it was a freaking preseason game too, game that didn't even matter. But like, yeah, that was enough. My head was ringing the next day.
Yeah, definitely. Just interesting to see. And then you think how difficult it is for the medical world to be able to trace stuff back. And then you mix in the legal world, right? You get lawsuits and stuff. And wait a minute, I want it to be proven that this CTE came from football, because I don't want to be proven it came from just being a 9-year-old boy that runs and jumps and falls and hits it, right? There's not a big settlement if it's just, well,
right.
This probably came from when this kid, we got record that he went to the doctor at 10 years old because he fell off his bunk bed. That was probably right. Well, there's not a payout, right? So, the human element's in there as well.
Without a doubt.
And the money element.
Yeah.
Anyway, just want to, that's such a big story. And, wow, you feel for the folks in everybody in New York, everybody that was around that tragedy, all the family members, all the victims. But, if you're a NFL, and I think Goodell has said they're all going to work from home the rest of the week. I think I heard that, where they're not going to bring him back into the traumatized location and all. But man, how about that? If you're an NFL employee, you got to think, man, some crazy guy. It looks like his vendetta was to get into our office and start shooting it up for his weird thought process. That was what he thought he should do. Man, spooky. Real spooky. All right, guys, let's take a break. Another story I saw yesterday, didn't quite get to it. There was a good article, I think it was, it might have been in The Athletic, talking about sports shows. Funny, we're a sports show. But it was talking about television studio sports shows and how they look to be dropping like flies and going out of vogue. I got some thoughts on that. I'll ask you guys some questions about that as well. Are we losing the TV sports show, and is there a reason why? I think there's a couple reasons why they've lost their fastball. We'll talk about that on the other side. Starting to wrap up hour number 1. He's Patrick Young. We've got Trenton Torsia. I'm Terry Norvelle. Coming back after this quick timeout on the Young and Norvelle Show.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School. Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Shacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with we are more rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is down. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
Hey, just about ready to kick off hour number 2. Glad you're hanging out with us here on a hot late July afternoon in the Deep South. Terry Norvelle, Patrick Young in and out. He may join us again in a moment. Trent Torsia, kind enough to sit in with us today. Around our parts on a Tuesday, well, you know what it is. It is a Hurricanes Jewington Creek Tuesday. Well over 30 different flavors of wings. You know, when you think Hurricanes, wings is in the name, but do not sleep on the rest of the menu. I always tell you about the quesadillas, the tacos, great burgers, great handheld sandwiches, something for everybody. Our hangout in the heart of Mandarin on Tuesdays. I'm at home, kind of convalescing a little bit. Had a medical procedure on Friday. Nothing major. It was scheduled. But our wonderful sponsors, I've let them know, hey, I think I'm going to be around the house this week. May venture out tomorrow, Trent. You get worried. You get worried when you're not 100%. You don't want to get too far from the house. You know?
We talked about it earlier. It's like nothing like your own home, your own bed, and everything associated with it. I was going to tell you, too, as far as Hurricane goes, don't sleep on those fish tacos.
Oh, yeah.
I had the blackened fish tacos, I think, Friday.
Good stuff.
They were good.
Real good stuff. I want to thank our good friends, Josh and Callie, the owners, the operators. They've been really, really kind to our show, and we love being out there on Tuesdays. Hurricane Jewington Creek right there in the heart of Mandarin. I teased a moment ago, Trent, I saw an article this week. I don't think we got to it yesterday, is why I carried it over. Article that was talking about just generality. TV sports studio shows. You know, there's a million studio shows. You turn on any of the sports networks, they've all got their studio shows, right? They're dying off. The word is they're starting to be replaced by more podcast and more one-on-one, two people, one guy hosting a podcast, bringing a guest on. They're simplifying. I've got a theory, Trent. I want to throw out the theory, and I may tie in late night TV as well. But the article, Trent, talked about the death of the standard TV studio show. My theory is twofold. Number one, I think these shows, they're generally overcrowded. You turn on these shows, Trent, and they're packing 4 and 5 and sometimes 6 people on the set, right? And it's hard to get a good show when you got to go to 6 different people, 5 different people, and they have to, right? They're explaining and they're adding in, and too many people on the set. But Trent, I think the thing that's killed these sports shows, TV sports shows, they all got too angry. There's too much anger. Everybody yells at everybody on these sports shows, right? They get a topic and you yell, and he yells at him, and she yells at her. And I think people are tired. There's enough anger and yelling in our everyday lives, Trent. I think these sports shows, that's all they do is yell at each other if you watch these shows.
You know, that's actually pretty fair when you start thinking about it. And it's like, it's one thing to debate, right? I could sit here and go, hey, you said this, and I go, hey, what do you think, Trent? And I go, you know what? I don't agree 100% with what you're saying, but I agree with a little bit of it. But I'm not going, oh, you know, that's preposterous or whatever, and you're out of line, and what are you even thinking? And to your point, to expand a little bit more, it starts getting almost political, and it's like people aren't interested in that. People are interested.
We've got enough of that in our world. There's enough and anger.
And they're interested in. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear the news. I don't want to hear, you know, your opinion on a little bit, you know, to a certain extent. I do, because I watch a lot of that stuff, and I'm getting to the point where it's less and less, which is
absolutely
the trend that you're referring to. And it's like, I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
5 minutes is enough.
I like a couple things you said. Number one, you brought up the word debate. Debate's fine. I don't want to turn on a TV show and there's 2 and 3 and 4 people on the set and they all agree on everything. Debate's fine. But it got to the point about 4 or 5 years ago, it seems like the vogue thing is confrontation. Let's get this guy, and I think Pat's there. Pat, are you still there? Yeah. And you've been hearing what we're saying. 5 or 6 years ago, when all these TV shows popped up, you could tell let's put a button. Number one, too many people on the set, and let's get some confrontation. Well, I think the public at large has looked up and said, there's enough of that. We go to work and there's arguments. We talk to our people we run into, we're debating and arguing and getting hot under the collar. And then Trent and Pat, I want to bring you in as well. Trent, you mentioned political. I'm going to tie the late night shows. They're going by the wayside, and I think the same reason they're going by the wayside. There's enough arguing about politics and screaming and yelling. We've got enough of that. The people don't want to get home at night, turn on their late night show, and that's all they do, Pat. I think
I cannot agree with you more, Terry.
Go ahead.
Like, just think, I'm not a late night show person.
Nor am I.
But if I was one of those people that stayed up and watched those, 10, 11 p.m. shows, I see clips, I'll see them from time to time. But the last thing that I want to watch would be anything political. As I'm trying to wind down, like I want they bring on so many awesome guests that you do get to learn about their guest, and you can't avoid it entirely, of course. But like Jon Stewart, what he's going I really enjoy him because he does tie. You know what you're getting with Jon Stewart. Like he's got his specific crowd because he's tying comedy into everything. Yeah. But he's also a little critical here and there. Of course, he's human. But like, if I'm watching SNL, if I'm watching Jimmy Fallon, like Jimmy Kimmel,
Colbert.
I love Jimmy Fallon the most, just because of his humor and his music and stuff, the entertainment that he brings to the stage. But like, I would be turned off if he took away from the entertainment part that those late night shows really often do. Like when you get away from the purpose of what they originally, I think that's where, and to you guys' point with talk radio, I mean, just open up the ESPN app. Any topical thing that is a debate, they have bought into the clickbait.
Yeah.
Stephen A demolishes blah 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 over this heated argument, and I'm like, and then you open it up and you're like, I mean, it wasn't heated. Like, they disagreed, but and I even noticed it here. Last thing, I even noticed it on Pat McAfee's show. With Pat McAfee, they have the credibility where they're getting Sham Charania, gosh, what's our baseball guy's name? The writer that does everything, Jeff Passan, Adam Scheffner. They have all those guys, and they try. Those guys are just giving information.
Yeah,
they're not meant to be. Here's my opinion. What do you think to speculate? And they're just like, I seen with Adam Schefter. He's like, guys, that's not my job. I'm not gonna. I can provide my opinion on what teams have done in the past and this and that, but like my job is not to criticize, because as soon as I start doing that, they're not going to want to open the door and answer my phone calls.
Yeah. I think these and Trent, I'll throw it to you now. These late night shows, they're dropping off. I mean, Colbert just got canceled. They're dropping off. They've lost their fastball. I think they've eaten themselves. I think they've dropped off because they've eaten themselves. We have enough arguing. We have enough fighting and bickering. There's enough of that in our day-to-day world that we can't control. And Patrick said it well, particularly those late nights. I don't do those anymore. I used to watch them. I was a Letterman guy and Leno and all those guys when I was younger. I don't stay up that late. But I certainly don't want to be up at Trent at 11:35 when the Tonight Show starts and just getting hammered with major, heavy political strife and arguments, man. I think they've eaten themselves, and good for them. They needed to be, I think reset, recalibrated.
Yeah, and I'm actually a Fallon fan as well, but the monologues just they tune you right out. It's like
they do.
Why are we? And it doesn't matter who the president of the United States is. They make fun of all of them, and it's like there's only so much you can do with that. Yeah. And I used to be a huge Saturday Night Live fan.
Yeah, who did?
When it was not ready for prime time players, and I mean, you could go through the years, and Fallon was on there, and it was more about comedy.
Yeah,
and that was fun to watch at 11:30 on a Saturday night.
Sure was.
But when you start turning political with it, it's like it doesn't matter where you stand. It doesn't matter what your thoughts are. I want to laugh.
Yeah, and then
I love the satire and the hyperbole when they're really exaggerating, the mannerisms of whomever. Like that is great. We know Trump is very confident, has a huge ego. Like play into that.
Yeah,
that's that should be something everyone should laugh at. But I think when they try to highlight, if you're highlighting character flaws, and trying to make things personal, I think that's when you start rubbing people the wrong way.
And that's it right there, Patrick. I mean, that's when it starts getting personal and it becomes an agenda versus.
And then bringing it back to sports, bringing the sports shows. I mean, they've eaten themselves as well. I think there's a reason these shows are dying off, because they wanted to gear them toward get a panel and make it confrontation, argumentative, confrontation. Well, I think people finally have gone, man, the minute I wake up, the world's confrontational now. Politics is everywhere. Everything's fighting, arguing. Well, I don't want my sports to be that. And that's what they geared their shows toward. And I think there's a turning point now. Everybody's saying we're done. I mean, think about the biggest star on any of the talk shows right now, and I think the finances will bear this out, is Stephen A. Smith. Well, hell, his nickname for some people is Screaming A. Smith. His nickname is Screaming A. Smith.
Yeah.
And he is the number one paid guy.
He wasn't like this. I used to listen to First Take.
Absolutely.
Almost cult-like back in this. I was even overseas and I wasn't watching. I would listen to the podcast, like their shows and tape. And, obviously Stephen A., he's got his own type of personality, and he part of it is, I'm sure he's adapted into what has made him a successful, which is using this big vocabulary of words we haven't heard to sound extremely sophisticated. And it's like, first I was like, dude, who's the audience here? Like you're using words like egregious and preposterous. Like And then now, like you turn it on, I put it on for 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I can't watch this unless the set he's not on it. If he's not, if it's the day he's off, I'll watch it. If not, I will not.
Well, you know, when he made
Patrick, that's why I just said preposterous earlier.
And you know, Stephen A. Hey, good for Stephen A. He finally found a niche, and he's at the top of the food chain in that niche. Remember, he made his first go through. He didn't make a dent. He came through. Nobody watched anything he did, and he dropped off the map for 5-6 years. This new incarnation is his second go around, and he caught on because somebody 7-8 years ago said, I think what the public wants is confrontational shows. So let's put him on with Skip Bayless. And you can't tell me that those producers, remember when Stephen A. and Bayless were going at it? Well, you could tell every one of those shows, they had their pre-production meeting before the camera red light went on. And you could tell, Skip, you need to take this stance. Stephen A., you take that stance and argue your ass off. Well, that was Vogue 6, 7. I think our country's tired of people fighting and arguing and yelling and over.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad it's turning back. I hope it keeps turning back.
At what point though? Like all this. So I remember Cole Ganahan. He's the CEO of Learfield, and talking with him, I haven't talked to him in a while, but he said, I think at one point social media tried to find a way to get people. They tried a positive method first, but then they realized fury was if they fueled rage and fury, it would get more people like emotional, obviously, and committed. Like, I'm in it. If I see something that makes me angry, I'm not just gonna say like, oh, it's not that big a deal. Like, you're going to stay, and maybe you're gonna be one of those keyboard or thumb warriors that just has the bloviate. That's a Stephen A. Smith word. Bloviate their opinion of this thing that has no effect on you. That's why, like, when it comes to like, I sure I have opinions, but like, what does it make a difference if I see something here and I share my opinion, and then all of a sudden there's people that disagree with me, and then I'm sucked into this whole Twitter battle of nonsense, virtual people I'm never going to meet, and get so emotionally attached to it. But look, that is not just made up. It's manufactured for that to happen. They want that to happen. And now I think probably because politics have tied too much into everything, I'm like, shoot, where can I go that I don't have to be angry? Let me be angry at a player not playing well, or the coach's dumb decision in this and that, or a win or a loss. Let that be my anger, not that, this player didn't stand up for the anthem. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. We'll keep it here. I'm gonna tie it into one more thing, and I may be the only guy because I'm the flag carrying. I love the brand new first year new professional softball league, the AUSL. I love it. They just wrapped up their first year. It was a mega success, absolute mega success. We could get into the reasons why and what they're going to do going into year 2. They've made a lot of great decisions. They've got great leadership. The Major League Baseball is behind it. But along the lines of what we were just talking about, how about this, guys? Compare and contrast the WNBA and the AUSL. I know a lot of people haven't watched probably professional softball, this new league. Trent, have you watched it much? Do you know much about it?
I've watched a little bit of it, but as you know, I watch a lot of college softball.
And I know Patrick does as well.
Which is where these players are coming from, obviously.
So we watched them game. I've watched a lot of the season. It just wrapped up, year number 1. And then, obviously, I don't follow the WNBA, but it gets rammed down your throat. How about compare and contrast? The WNBA has such an angry tinge about it. Every highlight you watch is this girl's pushing that girl, and that girl's complaining, and this one's cursing out at a press conference. That it's got such an angry tinge about it. I think right out of the gate that turns people off. You look at this professional softball league, the girls look like they're happy and having fun, and they're competing, and they're the top of their profession, and they smile, and they pat each other on the back if they make a nice. The contrast. Why would you want to follow the WNBA? All they do is bitch and moan and fight.
Well, and you know what?
I want to be very. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, guys.
What I was going to say is the
WNBA,
they're setting that up. The media is setting that up. They're creating these rivalries and these storylines and everything else and remember what sells. Good stories don't sell. Controversy sells and gets the clicks and all that stuff that you want. So
I'm tired of it.
When you look at it, it's like now it's become the WNBA's become the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese show, and it's like we're gonna watch them, bang on each other during a game, and somebody's gonna hard foul somebody, and somebody's gonna say something. They may laugh. At the end of the day, they may go have a glass of wine and laugh about it.
Yeah.
But on the softball side, I think with both sports, if you don't have the funding, they're not going to make it. I mean, you've got to have the backing of the NBA, and you do have to have the backing of the MLB in order to survive.
Pat, jump in here. You had some stuff to say about this WNBA.
Yes.
USL.
Everything I'm saying is not. I'm just trying to lay some facts out, right? So, in the world, obviously, we have people that of different sexual orientation. That is just how this world works. Hopefully, like in America, you're able to express that without fear of any type of judgment, which you shouldn't have. There should be no judgment for who you choose to love, barring age, discrepancies. There is a large presence of lesbian and gay athletes in both sports, in softball and in WNBA.
Fair enough. I think. Fair enough.
Just from optics, looking at the sport, it's not the WNBA compared to softball. The uniforms, the hair, the appearance, it's a lot less rigid, the AUSL.
Yeah.
Just think, if I'm, and not that Brittany Griner or any of these women that are phenomenal. Again, I'm trying to compliment them on their game. That's because that's the most important thing. But because the WNBA is pushing these stories in a way, there's then this connotation of think, oh, that league is full of, these type of players because this is their orientation and et cetera, and et cetera. And that's not necessary. That's not the case. Yeah. But because they're fueling on that rage, they're pushing those kind of stories. I'm like, WNBA, choose. You highlight these women with their skills and their outfits. Like these women are and their individuality. But then you try to push this rage, this conflict, this, oh, did you see this, making things so much bigger than what they actually are, that it takes away from the skill. And I'm meaning to say this if I'm a neutral viewer, I've never watched the WNBA or AUSL. I think you're much more inclined to have a better experience watching the AUSL than with the product on the WNBA side, which, I think it's very fixable.
Yeah.
It's very fixable.
I think you nailed it.
The WNBA, they've got to figure something out in terms of we're misrepresenting our players for what they do best.
Yeah.
Like before Caitlin Clark, there were plenty of fans that Asia Wilson is unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she has a statue in South Carolina. She has a statue. And she was like the last girl here recently to get a shoe. So, take it where you want. I don't want to dive too much into that because I don't want to say I'm not being homophobic or anything like that. Yeah. I'm just saying the way, like, I believe a gymnastics league, professional, it would take off. Mm-hmm. You're telling me little girls from all around getting to dress up all pretty with the makeup and the unitards and all the posing and the dancing on it is a beautiful. Like, there's no funding behind it, but you know, the WNBA needs to look around and say, how can we do this better? Because what they're doing right now is not it.
I totally agree. I know, like, again, do I follow the WNBA? No, but it does get. We're in the sports world. All of us are in the sports world. We're listening and or watching a lot of sports. That's understood. With that said, the WNBA gets force fed down your throat a little bit, so you have to almost see it. I'm telling you, every time I see anything WNBA, I can just about guarantee you I'm going to see some type of confrontation, argument, push, complain, argue, finger in the face, bad language.
I think they do a better job, though. They do a better job than the NBA of, like, they argue calls, but nowhere close as the NBA does. NBA players, they argue every single call. It makes it unwatchable.
Yeah.
It makes it unwatchable sometimes.
But I tell you, man, along the lines of what we talked about with the late night shows and the sports shows, this WNBA,
right?
There's enough anger at it. When you watch these highlights, I'm sure if you watch the game, the confrontation and anger is what comes out first and foremost. I think people
first and foremost.
That. I think people are saying we get enough of that we can't control in our life. I don't want to
give me the beauty. Give me the beauty and what makes this game so awesome. Highlight that. Highlight the skill and talent of these athletes. And I think then the league will begin to thrive more.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. As we go to break, guys, are we trying to have a grown-up show here? Are we trying to be adults on this show? Look at us talking about some big-time stuff. Huh?
Yeah, that is a big topic. You got to be sensitive to it.
Look at us growing up.
Forgive me. I'm not the most educated. I'm just through experience in my eyes. I've seen it done well and I've seen it done badly.
Look at us trying to act like.
I don't know. That's kind of out of character, but that's I got one more comment on.
Go ahead, Trent. We got plenty of time.
AUSL. So it's brand new. So they're going to market it to be the lovely product.
Yeah.
That I think the WNBA once did.
Maybe.
But the only issue I have with the AUSL is there's 4 teams and they're going to play each other to the point where it's going to get a little bit contentious.
And they just wrapped it up. They played 24 games.
Right.
And
you
it was
play each other, on a regular basis, rotating basis. We're talking about expansion already, though.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
And what they're doing, which is
they've got to.
They just wrapped up their championship. The two highest seeded teams played a 2 out of 3, and the Talons won it. What they did, I thought, and we're spitting off here, but I thought it was really cool. This was year 1. They had 4 franchises. Nobody really had a home field or a home city. They toured and they played in a bunch of they picked out several softball centric, a lot of college towns. Austin they just won a national title in softball. They played a weekend series there. They played in Tuscaloosa, Alabama's big time softball. So they played all around to take their product. And as I understand it, what they're doing now, year 1's in the books. As Trent said, they're going to expand by several more franchises. And now they're going to announce pretty soon where the franchises are going to be home city. They did kind of a barnstorming this year to show off their sport. I thought that was pretty smart. Now they're going to start saying, okay, the Talons, you're going to be based out of Birmingham. They're about to announce that. This was kind of a experimental first year and a show off first year. I thought it was really smart. What they've done, and they've got the backing of Major League Baseball. Now, as we go to break, guys, I'm not saying that the next however many years that I watch AUSL professional softball, I understand there could be a Tuesday night I'm watching one of the games or a few innings of the game, and there may be a bench-clearing brawl. And I know people might go, well, Terry, you just said this was a lily white perfect sport. I'm not saying that, and I'm fine with that. I get sports is going to have confrontation. The WNBA, it looks like they build it on confrontation. They want confrontation, and I think that's turning people off of the WNBA.
That's fair statement. That's actually a fair statement.
Yeah.
I don't see bench clearing brawls in.
Yeah, and I could see, there's going to be a situation, a girl may slide too hard in and the bench is clear. That's going to happen in sports. I'm not saying the WNBA shouldn't have two girls squaring off occasionally. That's going to happen in sports. That seems like that's the backbone of what they want their league to be, and I think it turns people off in modern society.
I know, and we are in the media, but I blame the media for that getting there.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's take a break. We'll take a break here. Come back. We're going to turn it to Major League Baseball. We should have Kade Kistner, our buddy from Sports Illustrated. He is the baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated. A lot of baseball. We're coming down probably the final 45 games or so. It's starting to get real serious in Major League Baseball. Trade deadline is this week. A lot to talk about Major League Baseball. On the other side, it is the Young and Norvelle Show, cruising along here on Action Sports Jax.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as JaxPal. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with JaxPal.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville. on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
Yeah, looks like that nasty cloud is kind of dissipated a little bit. That's the look. Late July in hot Jacksonville. Welcome back to the Young and Norvelle show. Trenton Torsia here. We're going to catch up with Kade Kistner, our buddy from Sports Illustrated, hopefully momentarily. A lot of baseball. I know you don't mind that, Trenton Torsia, at all. A lot of baseball. Good time of year, man. We're about to get in that sprint of about 45 games left for the to the finish line.
Oh, and there's teams scuffling and there's teams that are hot. So
yeah,
it actually should be interesting.
You're
I've got a couple things for Mr. K, by the way, that I'd like to dive into if we've got a moment to do it. But,
we will. Your Yankees scuffling a little bit.
No, they're scuffling hard. Toronto's been hot, so they've lost. Gosh, I think they're 6.5 back, and they were 4 games up. So just in about a 30-day period. And,
the other big
news, a lot of surprises along the way, and it's what it comes down to in the trade deadline approaching fast.
Yeah,
there's a lot of vicious rumors, and there's also the Paul Skeens follow.
Yeah, what about this guy?
My gosh.
Yeah, we'll get to Skeens in a moment, but you hit the first thing is, I mean, we're 2 days away from the end of the trade deadline, right? So we've had a few moves. I'm interested to see if Kade has any more concrete rumors out there. I'm not sure. It's the 31st. I don't know if it's 4 o'clock or midnight. Sometimes they do 4 o'clock, So, I mean, we've got hours left now in the trade deadline, and there'll be some moves, right? We're going to have a couple, wow, did you hear? So-and-so picked up a big bat, or so-and-so got a big arm, right? I mean, we're going to have that happen here in the next day and a half.
Yeah, and I think what's happening is if you're selling, you're holding out. Mm-hmm. And then if you're buying, they want you to get in desperation mode. Like, hey, let's just use the Yankees as an example. They lead in the wild card. So, even though they're 5.5 or 6.5 games back, they still lead the wild card race. So it's like, and I'm going to tell you their need is they got to add an arm. They just added a third baseman, that's got a little bit of pop, right? A little bit of juice. So he could hit home runs, in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
But pitching and defense is what wins games. And the Yankees are making errors
They're kicking the
ball ridiculous rate at the major league level, Terry. And I know you as a former middle infielder, that's got to drive you nuts.
Yeah, they've kicked the ball around all year. They have not been a good defensive team. And then obviously, first and foremost, yes, they could use another arm. Most people can use another arm. But Aaron Judge's arm has failed him. And I mean, that's the big story. We may have Kade on. Is Kade there? Okay, still Patrick. Hey, buddy. Yeah, we were talking about the Yankees. We'll talk tomorrow with Dr. Bates. He'll be back from vacation. And Trent, you may have read something about this. It's unique, and I know Casey was talking about where you're going to play him at, how you're going to put the lineup together for the Yankees. But I thought it was odd that Judge got put on the 10-day IL and not, he can't throw right now, but can't you still use his bat?
Well, so it's interesting you bring that up because they are thinking that it's affecting his ability to swing.
Okay, yeah, that's what we.
So remember, if you've got kind of that Tommy John situation where you can't throw, well, does it hurt to swing? That's like the first question you ask.
Well,
a non-pitcher that, or a pitcher-only guy at a younger level, does it hurt to swing? Does it hurt to open a door? I mean, there's turn a doorknob. And if the answer is yes, that's a problem.
And where I correlated it, Patrick will remember when we had Dr. Bates on the first of the year. Remember, Shohei Ohtani. He couldn't pitch. He couldn't throw for the longest time, but he never wasn't the DH. So I'm thinking, obviously injuries are different. Judge has a flexor. Ohtani had more of a Tommy John, but the Tommy John did not keep Ohtani from swinging from day one, but they're telling Judge, we don't want you throwing or swinging. Interesting. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess.
Well, and what a time of year to have to make that decision too. He's had a remarkable year. He's your captain, he's you're scuffling, and now you don't have your best player in the lineup. And then if you're going to DH him, what are you going to do with Stanton?
That's what Casey talked about yesterday.
He's defensive liability.
He's a liability. They're talking about they've been running Stanton out in the outfield, throwing him some baseballs in the air and all. But man, I don't know. Will he cost you as many runs as he saved you? So Casey made a great point. What do you do if you kept Judge? I somehow would like to get that bat in the lineup if he could physically swing it, though. And I guess, Patrick, Dr. Bates will tell us tomorrow, the flexor must be involved in the swinging as well because he's out for 10 days. Sure.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Like there's got to be a way to try to keep him sharp, so he'll be confident and as close you can, because you can't recreate BP without hitting the ball, but there's got to be a way to help him keep maintaining his mental timing.
Trent, let me ask you a good point. Obviously, a good point there, Patrick. Trent, as a pitcher, a guy that's still around the game, you teach pitching. You see where the pitching has gone. We now want to throw it as fast as we can, as hard as we can, as long as we can. Throw. I think it may take a few more years, but aren't the studies coming back saying we're creating our own arm issues by going max effort every pitch? With that said, Trent, will human nature allow 5-10 years from now, will pitching coaches be trying to idle pitchers back and go, hey, man, you don't have to go 100% every pitch. Go 90 so we can keep you 10 years instead of 99.9 and we get you for 3 years.
Terry, I think you're trying to spin me out of control right now.
I think you are.
And here's the deal. And you can call me old school. You can call me whatever you want. But I talk to guys all the time. And, I was a rover in this collegiate league in Jacksonville for the third straight summer. And guys are like, hey, my velo is this or what. Yeah. I said, can you throw a strike? Like, can you locate a pitch?
Right.
And if you can't locate and you can't learn how to pitch, I don't care how hard you throw, and right. I don't care what your spin rate is, because somebody had this genius idea. And listen, my alma mater has a pitching lab. I'm like, what do you do in the pitching lab? You throw the hell out of it
and see the number.
And it's to the point too, because believe it or not, I had this conversation with my wife. I'm like, they go, yeah, they take 3 steps, they spin, and they throw it as hard as they can, and it registers a number. And I'm like, wow. When's the last time somebody got on the mound? This would be like the Savannah Bananas. I'm going to start behind the mound. I'm going to take 3 big steps.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a pirouette, and then I'm going to throw it as hard as I can.
Yeah.
And so the problem is, if you don't know how to pitch, it doesn't matter how hard you throw. And if you can't throw multiple pitches for strikes, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Your longevity, first of all, it's based on your health, but the guys that pitch themselves out of the game are the guys that can't command their pitches. They can't pitch backwards. Remember that
pitch backwards. Yeah.
Like, can you throw off-speed pitches behind in the count?
Well, let me ask you this.
Anyway.
And this is just you don't have the answer, but
you spun me, Patrick. He did.
Yeah.
That was a good one, though. I love that.
But Trent.
Great answer.
If we're talking baseball 10 years from now, are we going to commonly be referring to guys, that guy's got a 103 fastball. That guy's got a 104 fastball. Is it just going to keep going? Or is it ever going to, I mean.
You know what?
Is 103 going to be 100?
So it's an interesting question. because I've talked to players and coaches that have coached, like I'm talking about major league players and major league coaches, high level college coaches. They think the guns are just more accurate.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
So is 92 really 102 now, or is the technology more sophisticated? It said, because think about, like, you could go all the way back to Don Drysdale. They said he out threw a train. Well, how fast does a train travel? And when you start looking at stuff like that, it's like, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you've ever seen it live up close, and I know, Patrick, you've played baseball.
Yeah.
90 miles per hour is
it's giddy up. That's giddy up.
Hard. And you too, Terry. I mean,
your first time seeing it. I remember just the first time going from like that jump from Little League. What do you go up to 12?
Yeah.
To 13, and like, I'm playing with a 15-year-old kid that can really put something behind it, and it made me extremely nervous. Like I remember there were times I just moved out of the way. I was like, I'm catching that.
Or you can't see it. I mean, when it reaches a point where you're like, I'm a kid. I remember reading a book. Do you remember the Ron Luciano, the umpire?
Yeah.
Big league umpire. And the book is Umpire Strikes Back. He talked about umpiring for Nolan Ryan. And he said the ball came in and looked like an aspirin, and then it exploded into several baseballs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was hard to hell. It was hard as hell to umpire. It's like,
it just makes you wonder with the number of injuries, arm injuries, will baseball finally say it's not worth it getting three years out of a great arm that we have him maximize, and we get 3 years, or get 10 years and say, hey man, idle it back and give us 10 years of a great arm at 94%, and again, are we going to be sitting here 10 years from now and 103 is the standard? It looks like it's where it's going.
No, I mean, listen, if you remember Greg Maddux,
sure,
Hall of Famer, he would tell you right now, he's not in the big leagues.
Wow.
Because of the standard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. He was
88 guy, 86,
88 guy that could split a dime in half.
Yeah.
Because he could locate and he could change speeds. Probably his best pitch was his changeup. So, I mean, I think it's still it's the same thing with hitting. They're like, oh, you got to hit. You're either out of the ballpark or bust.
Yeah.
So you're seeing, record home runs, but you're also seeing guys hit, 45 home runs and they're batting 200.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So it's a boom or bust situation.
Yeah.
And every ortho I've ever talked to, and you may want to bring this up tomorrow too, is the D cell can't handle the XL.
Meaning?
Somebody that throws a max effort, say, 97, 100 miles per hour, that is it's been explained to me, it's stretching your ligament like a rubber band.
Gotcha.
And think about how many times you pull a rubber band back and it finally just breaks.
Yeah.
That's the analogy they're using.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, getting back to the fastball and the speed and the gun, obviously we brought up Paul Skeen's name, bring it up all the time. It was a year and a half ago when he made his MLB debut, man, he's blowing it. He threw 20 pitches at 100 plus. He threw 19 pitches at 101. Well, don't look now, but the guy that went last night from Milwaukee, Mizorowski, if I'm pronouncing his last name, he's the newest flamethrower. He's hitting 102 occasionally. There just seems to be, even though the arms are failing, I don't know. Maybe you ride it out and make as much money as you can in 3 to 5 years, and to hell with a 10-year career on the mound. I don't know. It just seems like the velocity is never going to stop. And I can't believe the arm injuries are going to stop if the velocity keeps going up. Am I right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, and if you've ever listened to Nolan Ryan, the legend, he's like, forget about pitch count.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how many times he went late into games, how many complete games he had.
Right?
There's no telling how many pitches he threw. The 120, 125, 130 pitches.
Nolan Ryan had a famous game where he threw like 225 pitches in a game.
Whatever it was.
In a 12-inning game, he stayed on the mound and threw like 230 pitches. 230 pitches. I will say this, though. The guys like Ryan and Skeens, Ryan had that windup. It looked like he used his entire body.
That's a good point.
Some of the guys I watched throw the ball, and it looks like everything is on the arm. Right?
That's a great point.
Ryan was tight and looked like his entire body, certainly his lower half, was a vital part of his velocity. Nowadays, I see guys, it looks like it is all on the elbow torque, and you're just waiting on that thing to go pop, and there it goes.
Especially from the stretch, because they want them quicker to the plate, so they're not getting really any lower half involved. And I mean, you could throw Roger Clemens in that mix. Those guys all had legs that were as big as trees.
Yeah, Tom Seaver, all those guys. Yeah, they got their velocity. It looked like from the tip of their toes to the top of their head. Some of these guys, man, watching them throw, you go, God dang, that looks like he's stressing his arm out, doesn't it?
Well, you can tell, especially the ones that kind of fall off and their arm is late and their arm's trying to catch up. I mean, and I'm getting into too mechanical.
Yeah.
I get that, but that's kind of where it's going. So it's like just imagine throwing a ball underwater.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Great.
All right, let me run through some stuff that happened in the last couple of days in Major League Baseball, get you guys to comment or just some things, news and notes here. We talked about Aaron Judge, his injury. Looks like he's on the IL for at least 10 days. Yankees scuffling. They're still okay in the wild card, but I'll tell you, they've got Tampa Bay making a run at them. Boston's making a run. Somebody, Texas, Seattle, they're gonna grab a wild card. One of the big bats, I don't know if you all noticed, the Suarez guy from the Diamondbacks. He's got like 35 home runs. He's on the trading block. It looks like they're going to get rid of him. Somebody's going to want a big bat. He took a pitch to the hand the other night. Boy, that could have ruined his trade bait. Wouldn't you hate that to take they said it came back negative, but how about that?
But ironically, the team interested in him is the Detroit Tigers, and that's the team that beamed him.
They hit him?
Wow.
But can you imagine that, though? First thing I thought of when I saw Suarez leaves game, hit by pitch, x-rays on his hand, you're like, oh, my God, this guy's about to be a trade bait guy.
We got what, 48 hours to figure it out? I mean,
not with a broken hand. So that was one to track down. You know, the hottest team in baseball right now, the Milwaukee Brewers. My God, they're 16-6 in July. I found an interesting stat. The Brewers right now, they've chased down the Cubs. They've now taken the lead in that division by a game over the Cubs. You realize the Brewers, as hot as they are, as good as they are, they opened the season 0-4. I noticed that. They opened up with the Yankees. They lost 3 to the Yankees. They were 0-4. They turned it around. Wow. I know it's only 4 games, but that's tough to come back from right out of the gate. You're 0-4.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, would they rip off before the All-Star break, like 12 in a row?
They had about an 11-game win streak.
And then the problem was, it's the All-Star break. Now they're going to go in the tubes because that's what Brewers.
Well, you remember they had the 11-game winning streak a week or so ago. It got snapped by Seattle, if I remember right, but Seattle beat them 1-0. And then they won the next couple games.
Yeah.
So they barely lost their winning streak. Did you see where that Mizorowski kid last night, the flamethrower for Milwaukee, did you see his first inning? 40 pitches. 40 pitches, gives up a couple runs, but he ends up going 3 more innings and only threw 40 pitches in 3 innings. So he threw 40 in the first, and he threw 3 more innings of 40 total. How about that?
Well, I mean, it's
got it together. No decision.
You got to throw strikes.
Yeah, no decision.
That's the thing.
The Astros are scuffling a little bit. They've lost 5 in a row, but they've got a nice, pretty good lead over Seattle. Hey, did you guys see the rookie on Friday that went 6 for 6?
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't see him.
Rookie 6 for 6, 4 home runs. Only rookie ever to hit 4 home runs in a game. See that, Trent?
Yeah, he was 4. His first 4 at bats. I
didn't realize
yaya, as they say in baseball.
Yeah. He nearly hit for the cycle. 6 for 6.
Hey, I got a couple things for you.
Go ahead.
R.I.P. Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah, how about that?
I don't know. You probably talked about it yesterday, but
We haven't got into it. Ryan Sandberg, the Cub, passed away yet.
I got a interesting tidbit. He was a Philly. So he was drafted by the Phillies. The Phillies traded Ryan Sandberg and Larry Boa to the Cubs for Ivan DeJesus. Wow. And they're calling think about it, Sandberg and Boa were like the middle infield catalyst for I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
And anyway, DeJesus wasn't terrible, but
he was decent, but he wasn't Rhino and those guys.
No, and Rhino is he's Mr. Cub, man. You could say Ernie Banks he'll always be Mr. Cub, but I mean, just put Rhino up in there.
And Patrick, I don't know if you go ahead, Trent.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Patrick, I don't know if you know the name Ryan Sandberg. He just passed away, 65 years old. Guys like Ryan Sandberg playing for the Cubs and then the Dale Murphy era for the Braves, those guys became such household names because in the 80s, the Cubs were on WGN all over the country.
Okay.
And the Braves were on TBS all over the country. You remember that day, Trent? You got to know the Cubs and the Braves because of those superstations.
Yep. Yeah.
Definitely. What do you have, Trent? You had a couple more. We got about 2 minutes left.
Harper versus Manfred.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
So Manfred was in
the baseball commission.
Yes, I'm sorry. In the Phillies clubhouse. And he wanted to talk about potential salary cap. And Bryce Harper went nose to nose with him and said, get the blank out of our clubhouse. Now, I dug up some stats. And we were talking about salary cap and whatnot. And I'll do it real quickly. So I'll start with the NFL. The highest payroll versus the lowest payroll is roughly $100 million apart.
Okay.
And it's going to change in the offseason. NBA, same, roughly $100 million apart from the highest paid to the lowest paid. Major League Baseball is $272 million apart.
Wow.
From the highest payroll to the lowest payroll. That's the Dodgers versus the Marlins. So if you're a fan and you're telling me you haven't done anything, like you could pay the luxury tax if you go over the cap or whatever, but really there's no cap. So it's like the question is, do you make the lower payroll teams raise their floor?
Or do you, Or
the higher teams, like the Dodgers aren't going to care what their payroll is. They'll keep paying
I think you absolutely do that first. I think that has to happen first.
Yeah.
Which one, Patrick?
The lowest salary team that they got to bring it up.
They got to spend more to compete.
Yeah.
Because they're all billionaires.
The Oakland A's guy is doing.
And we got 1 minute left, guys. That luxury tax, the big spenders, they just laughed at that thing. You look at the Dodgers. They're defending World Series champions. They are an international team now, right? With the players from abroad they have. They're an 100%. International team. Do you think they care how far they go over the luxury tax? Because they're going to get that international money. They don't care about that luxury tax, right? You know how much money they're making in Japan? Just ungodly.
I can't even imagine. Yeah.
So they could care less. All right, fellas, that'll just about wrap it up. Really good show. I hated that we got all adult there for a while, but every once in a while we got to do that. We appreciate it. Hey, Trent, thanks for sitting in. Patrick, I know you're busy. Thank you so much every day on our show. We appreciate everything you guys do. And, of course, same goes for Casey Kurtz. That'll wrap it up. We'll get back together tomorrow, 4 o'clock, 4 to 6 for the next Wednesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. Again, let me thank our good friends out at Hurricane Jewington Creek. Normally I'm sitting right in that restaurant, but we're doing the show the next couple of days from my house as I recuperate from a little bit of medical stuff. Nothing serious. I don't want to thank Hurricanes for letting us mention them and let me do it from the home. That'll wrap it up. Talk to you tomorrow, 4 o'clock, for the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at